All right. So my name is Chris Orsini, as most of you guys already know. And today I'm going to switch my website over to the new website experience live with you guys. So you'll get to walk through and see me do it. I have yet to switch mine over. Um, so a couple things that I like to talk about first before getting into the nitty gritty with websites is kind of our perspective on websites. We've historically, um, there has been a time where websites were a really great source of lead generation. Um, and it's not quite the same anymore. Websites are more of a value add than a lead generation platform. A lot of people get really hung up on their website and spend hundreds of dollars on a website to find that it's just a website that sits there. Um, the reality of our market right now is that we have the beasts of Zillow, Realtor.com, uh, Trulia, so on and so forth, that they are these big tech companies who have all this money to throw into things like SEO, search engine optimization, and advertising and everything. Um, if we wanted to compete with them, we're going to be spending way more money than is wise to spend, especially in a shifted market. I had a buddy who was, doing great with a blog, was one of the top results in Google when you search for real estate in a certain area, and um, his business did not reflect that success in Google. So I just want to make that point. If you're thinking that you're going to create a website and then all of a sudden the business is just going to flow in off that website, just a reality check, it's not going to happen. What the great leverage that you have on with your website is that now you have a place where people can search homes and you can see their search history and the things that they're doing in command. So I also see a lot of agents who want to create a website, their own, pay someone to make a website, and then they have to pay for an IDX. An IDX is a syndication from your board to get all the listings that are on the MLS onto your website. That can cost a couple $100 a month, depending on what your board charges, and they essentially have a monopoly on it, so they can charge whatever they want. And you're isolated to just the region of that board, just that area that they're in. Now, with Keller Williams, we acquired a company called Smarter Agent that is connected to every syndication in America. And we funneled that into what we call KWLS, the Keller Williams Listing Service. And so your website gets a national IDX. Well, not only a national IDX, but an international IDX. We get all of North America, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and then, throughout the world, whatever regions that are using KWLS, we also get those listings. So what that means is, so you've got a friend out in Montana who wants to move, you can still provide value to that friend and say, hey, get on my website, look at some of the places you want. You can work with them, do a buyer consult with them. You can see the things that they need. You can have them look at properties and then say, get a list of 5 properties they want to go look at, and then go find an agent to refer them to and say, hey, I've already worked with this person getting them pre-approved. This is what they want. These are the properties they want to see. Can you go take them? Right. And don't you think you could ask for a little bit more than 25% of a referral fee if you're going to do that work up front? I think so. Right. So you're able to provide more value that way. So a couple other things I want to point out. I'm going to share my screen and give you guys some resources before we get into this. So again, I'm going to be going through this with you guys. This is my first foray into the new website. So full transparency, I might run into a whoopsie or an I don't know or a oh, what's this? So um, if we run into any of these whoopsies, I don't know, what do we do here? Scenarios, we can always go to answers.kw.com. Answers.kw.com, and we can type in this search anything we're looking for. So we can search upgrade website. And the first result is upgrade to your new agent site. And I'll click on this and it's going to give me a step-by-step article on how to do it and the other things that we can do in this. What's great is it also gives us some things on the side here that are in the same realm. Next resource I want to give you is chrisorsini.com. So chrisorsini.com is my link tree where I have a bunch of resources. I've got a link here to KW Answers, or answers.kw.com, which is what we were just at. Learn at your own pace. This will take you to Connect, which has a bunch of learning things. You can see the recorded classes. So if you want to rewatch this later on, you can click on that. I also have a chat bot here called Lester. My company's called Leverage Strong, so we chopped off a few letters and named him Lester. Now, Lester is something that you guys get since you are contracted with my company. Well, your market centers are contracted with my company, so you can click on Lester, and he is trained on all things Keller Williams, all Keller Williams technology. So I can say, how can I upgrade my site to the new agent site? And he's going to give me a step-by-step tutorial on how to do this. And if I want to go and see the screenshots and the actual article, he'll give you a link. And you can click on that and jump over, and it takes us to that answers article that I actually just showed you. And I want more people to use it because, as you see here, I clicked on this link and somehow it took me to this opportunities thing. So I need more people to use it and break it and show me what's wrong with it so I can go back and correct it. So play with that. At least the rest of everything he said looks on point. So one other resource I'm going to give you is this Learn at Your Own Pace, which this is going to take you to Connect in Command. I'm going to jump back over to Command and show you how to get there. It's just Connect right here. All you have to do is click Connect, and that's going to take you to the place that link took you to. And we have a ton of learning resources here. Are you guys familiar with kwconnect.com? Maybe a little bit. Well, kwconnect.com is another place for learning resources. And it was great for a season. Although if you ever use the search function, anybody here try to use the search function in KW Connect? No? Okay, I'm glad because it sucks. I don't have a better word for it. It's terrible. And I've talked to the developers and the product managers, and they agree it sucks. So they've entirely abandoned that. And we use this search function, which works great. So we've got various things like we can learn at our own pace sort of things and get out of there. Thank you. We've got all these things that we can learn here, and they're just learning modules that we can go step by step at our own pace. We can bookmark things, come back to them later, and we can search for things that we want to learn. So I can type in websites, and it's going to show me all the learning things we have around the website. We can narrow it down to answers articles, learning, and events. And I just want to point out this one here, maximize mind share with a cutting edge website 101. If what you see here for me, excuse me, I just ate lunch. If what you're experiencing with me is not sufficient, you can go and take this class. It's a free class. It's a 1-hour class, and it's with Keller Williams University Tech Enablement Team. Just a great group of people who I am very grateful to work with and to leverage. They also teach this class, and they've been teaching me it for quite some time. So this is definitely something you can get involved in as well. All right, so now that I've given you a plethora of resources to use other than myself, let's jump into it. I'm going to go back into command. And again, today it's me literally upgrading my website for the first time. So who knows, this could take like 5 minutes, but we'll see. So I'm going to go down, and everything website related is going to be found in consumer. So consumer is where we can work on our website as well as things that are related to the app. So just a heads up before I go into this, I do want to make a point that if you have landing pages, these will not carry over. The landing pages you've created, you can copy the link and still use that link, but you won't be able to go back and edit those landing pages, and those landing pages will eventually cease to exist, probably by the end of this year. But that's okay, because in my opinion, landing pages are terrible. I'm not a fan of landing pages, and I do not promote the use of landing pages, except for very, very, very specific circumstances. And the reason I feel that way about landing pages is that we're one, in a skill-based business, right? We're in a skill-based market for sure. And two, we're in a value-based business. Sorry. I don't know if you saw the balloons. That's a fun Apple thing. We'll just yay. Okay. We're in a value-based business, right? And we need to lead from value. And if we're not leading from value, we're losing people. So landing pages specifically, in my opinion, don't lead from value. It's you're taking control of what the consumer is getting to see and getting to experience on one single page without giving them the option to see other things, right? So if I'm creating a listing landing page and sending leads to a listing landing page, instead of sending them to my agent site where they can search other properties, am I leading from value? No, I'm saying you get to see only what I choose for you to see, not, hey, here, come to my site and you're going to see whatever you want to see. That leads from value. So I'm going to get off that soapbox, but that's a big rant of mine. I hate landing pages. As you can see, the last one I made was in 2020 when I was doing an example. So yes, Ansh.
So my portal doesn't look like as yours.
So that's because you just joined, right?
Oh, yeah.
So people who have joined in the month of October automatically got the new sites.
But I do have a site.
Yeah, you do have a site. Yours is just upgraded to the new site, which is what I haven't done yet that I'm doing right now. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
catching up to you, Ansh, is
Okay.
what's happening here. So this class might not have as much value for you because I'm just going through what's already been done for you. But we might get it. Let's see what happens in this time, and maybe I'll be able to get into some some further functionality and editing and stuff. So
Okay.
all right, guys. And by the way, I know I've previously said don't upgrade yet. I know I've told a bunch of people to wait on the upgrade. And the reason I'm now finally upgrading is because of the things that were holding me back prior have been resolved. And they're actively upgrading the sites with new features and bringing in, things that we've been asking for. So I'm going to click. I'm ready. Are you guys ready? You ready? I'm not ready, but I'm going to do it. Let's go. All right. Upgrade my site. So we start off with introducing new agent sites. Upgrade your agent site today. We can easily make real-time updates. We can create engaging blogs. By the way, don't waste your time on blogs. They've got some awesome pre-created ones for you. Easily capture more leads in new ways. Highlight your preferred vendors. Guys, that's a really cool one. I just want to throw that out there. This is a great way to add another stream of income, right? You now have a preferred vendors page, and you can reach out to all your people and say, hey, $50 a month, and I'll put you on my preferred vendor page, right? You get 10 people to do that. You got $500 a month just easily sliding in there. So little pro tip. And increase flexibility in editing and content management. We got a little video here. Let's see what this is about. And let me turn on I'm going to turn on audio.
We know relationships are at the heart of everything that you do. With your all new agent sites, we give you more ways to build, foster, grow, and nurture your client relationships. Agent sites are being completely rebuilt from the ground up, focused on helping you succeed. They will be fully integrated within Command and include new features that enable you to elevate your brand, generate more leads, and maximize profitability. We're making it easy for you to get started with professionally designed page templates and customization of your navigation and branding. Showcase your team members and highlight your preferred vendors. Plus, you can personalize your blog content to focus on what matters most to you and your clients. Of course, your all new agent sites are automatically optimized for desktop, tablet, and mobile viewing. So whether you're highlighting video content on your blog or customizing a pre-move and checklist for your clients, or providing a best-in-class property search, we've simplified the process of giving your clients an unparalleled online experience. And when it comes to lead gen, the Command integration enables seamless lead capturing and instant follow-up with your leads and contacts, so you can stay informed and connected even on the go. Take command today of your client's online experience with your all-new agent sites.
All right. Thank you, John. John is one of the product managers, actually a really cool guy I've gotten to work with before. And so it's really nice to see him get a little publicity. So next is confirming our subdomain. So a subdomain is whenever you have an extra dot in an email or in a website. So it's chrisorsini.kw.com. Just to be clear, it's not at KW, it's .kw. So that's what mine is. I'm going to keep it that way, but you can change it to anything you want at this point. You won't be able to, this is just letting you know that you're not going to be able to create more pages for your previous site or landing pages, right? By the way, you can change your subdomain later if you want. I'm going to keep mine that way.
Chris,
Yes.
you have to use a kw.com thing.
It does have to be .kw.com, and I'm going to throw this out there, and you can go and buy your own domain and redirect it. So the same as I have chrisorsini.com, I can go into GoDaddy and tell it to send chrisorsini.com to chrisorsini.kw.com. And I'm so glad you asked this, Aline, because I just want to point this out to everyone. I think it is it's a wise move for everyone to buy at least one domain, whether it be your name or your business name, whatever it be. And no matter what, you can redirect that domain to wherever you want. So say one day down the road, say you do have a third party website and you've got business cards and you've got, signs and all these things that say, alineroy.com. Now, what happens if all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't want to use that old website. I want to use the KW website now. Do you go and change all your business cards and signs and everything? No, you just redirect alineroy.com to the new website rather than creating a new domain or URL. Does that make sense?
Kinda, but I mean,
So
I'll have to figure that one out, but that's another thing I gotta learn, but.
yeah, shoot me an email. I can
All
help
right.
clarify that a little more. But if you guys don't already have yourname.com, I'd go out and buy it. It's like what, $12 to $20 a year, whatever it is,
Yeah.
unless your name's like John Smith. Sorry. Yep. So Margaret, that's a great question that we can totally, that's a whole, I actually do that. One thing I do is tech consultations with agents outside of KW and do a compare and contrast and things like that. So yeah, let's talk about that for sure. All right, so I'm going to keep this subdomain. I'm going to confirm it and go next. And now I am previewing your agent site. So this says preview what your client will see on your site. Okay, cool. I can preview. I'll click on that. And this is the preview. All right, that's me. It's got all my numbers in there, Awesome. So this is something that I'm really curious about as well is I'm in like 5 market centers. So I'm wondering how that's going to work with all that. So we'll get there. All right, upgrade your new site. In order to provide our agents the best experience possible, any agent website that has not been upgraded by late 2023 will be automatically upgraded or deactivated. Once you opt into the new agent website experience, you will not be able to return to the current experience or create any new landing pages. I agree to upgrade. By the way, late 2023, who knows what that means, but I would say by the end of the year. Technically, we're in Q4, which is late 2023. So whatever. Upgrade now. And let's see where it takes us. Boom. All right, so we're going to take this tour. Welcome to the new Agent Builder. It's giving us more features and benefits of this. Let's take a tour. So we can add new content by clicking the plus button up at the top. Let's see, effortlessly incorporate new content. Enhance your site with captivating content by clicking the plus button, which will show a range of content types you can add and further personalize. We have a search bar. If you're seeking to edit or customize previously added content, you can search the page where you'll be able to find by name or keyword. Then we have our different pages. So we can select the one we want to edit. Got it. And if we select it, this will be the content blocks or content pieces. Upon selecting a page or form to edit, you will be presented with a series of modules or sections within the page. You can click each section to add or edit content. And then we can edit our featured properties, showcase the properties you wish to emphasize. Simply enter the MLS number or property address, and you will retrieve the desired listing. You can easily adjust the order to align with your preferences. The carousel can accommodate as many properties you would like featured. I don't know if you remember on the previous sites, I believe the limit was either 5 or 10, something like that. Now we can do as many as we want. And we've got our preview window. And then you obviously click save when you're done previewing. Awesome. So now that I'm here, it's left me in this page. I want to go back to the beginning. And yes, this will be emailed out, the recording of this. So let's go back to the dashboard. Yes. And let's poke around in here and learn about this. This looks drastically different than our previous experience. And I think this could probably be pretty daunting if you're looking at it at first glance, right? I know how many of you have designed a website before? Anyone? Kind of, sort of. Okay. So some of you have, many of you haven't. I'm gonna be fully transparent. I suck at websites. Like I've kind of made a couple, but it's off templates and they look hideous and they weren't really functional. So if I can do it, you can do it, is kind of what I'm saying. So let's poke around in here. First, I do want to point out the vendor page. That's something I know specifically exists. So if we go in the about section, this is where the vendors live. So I'm going to click about the agent, and it's going to take me into this module. And we've got, or this page. I've got 4 sections here. We've got agent profile, agent details, agent bio, and my preferred vendors. So I'm going to click my preferred vendors. And we can add a title. So I'll put my own company, Leverage Strong, providing market center tech trainer and onboarding services to Keller Williams market centers across the country. And we'll display. And then I'll click save. Let's see, vendors. Oh, there's a little thingy in there that I wanted to read before I clicked. So this is saying vendor lists are powered by Move Easy. To set up an account, add or edit vendors, click link. Please note it might take a few seconds to redirect to your account. Oh, okay. So this is the title of the page. That's not the actual vendor. So my preferred. See, I told you we'd run into a whoopsie. Or we might, and we did. My preferred vendors. Or you know, how about this? Our. Sound like a team, right? So then I'll save that. See if the description field is required. And let's look into this Move Easy. All right, so I'm going to click this link and see where it takes us. Ah, there we go. So I immediately got an email once I did that. And so let's click download your vendors because it looks like, oh no, there we go. Add a vendor up at the top here. Let's see, we'll do Leverage Strong. LeverageStrong.com. Chris Orsini. Chris at kw.com. 7. And let's see if they've got any services in here. Let's see, education, training. Is there just other? So we've got all sorts of things here. Not sure where my company would fall into this. Maybe consulting. Yeah. Support. Training. Whatever. I'll just put personal training. It's not really the same. Countries or counties. Oh, we could put counties. I'm going to leave that blank since it's not geographical. I'll click choose file and upload a logo. Let's see. Oh, Margaret, I clicked, there was like a tiny little link that said, click this link, and I clicked it. It took a little bit to, for it to go. Sorry, I'm just finding my logo. There we go. Add vendor. Okay, so I've got my vendor here. Now I'm going to jump back over to my agent site here. And let's see where it goes. So I'm just going to click this. Over on the right here, we've got our URL specifically of how to get to this page. I'm going to click on that and hopefully it'll take me over there. There we go. Scroll down, preferred. There we go. Leverage Strong. So I can click on this and I can click on the website, which will take me to my company's site. Or I want to see what Ask Me About Leverage Strong does. So then now I can say, this is send me some information. So a contact form. Love that. So something I recommend you guys do over the course of the rest of the week is reach out to your vendors, reach out to your people. Hey, want to be on my preferred vendor page? First 5 people get it for $50 a month. You can, this second 5 people can also get $50 a month, but you can, you know, say that just to get people in. Cool. So something they also featured, oh, so it takes you here. Let me go back. Something they also featured was blogs. So I want to take a look at that. I'm not a fan of blogs. Although I think the content that they give us is pretty valuable. And if we did want to create some sort of content that would be worthy of a blog post, I'd like to know how to do it. So we've got this quick start section with the blog box. Not sure what the star does. It's a favorite. Okay. I'm going to click on blog post and see what happens. All right. So we get this section to create a blog post. Cool. I'm going to, yes, Ansh.
Sorry you left that page, but it isn't allowing me to make changes to the about agent page. Like, for example, agent bio, it isn't allowing me to make any changes. Like, there's no, I don't know, there's a hidden button somewhere.
So to edit that, you'll probably want to go back into command, click on your name, go to settings, and then from settings, go to connect settings, marketing profile. So the marketing profile is the default place that its command is going to pull this information from for all the sorts of, all the things here and there.
Got it. Okay.
Great question, by the way. I'm glad I was able to answer that one because I've had a couple people ask me about that recently. All right, so we're going to create a blog. This is a blog post. Here is where you put your sub headline. And then we've got the body. So the body obviously would be where your text or your copy is going to be. Well, we also have this hero mod that says add module. So this is going to be an image. Oh, we can also do video. I wonder what happens if we click video. Any content type. Oh, so we can put up a YouTube URL. Hey, let's do that real quick. Let's go to YouTube, pull up a video. Let's go to recorded classes. And we'll get the link for this one, share, copy. Video. Where do I put the URL? Oh, hold on. There we go. So here's the URL. I put that there. Yes, Ansh.
Sorry, I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
I yesterday or last night I created what do you call it? I gotta go back. Shit, it doesn't let me go back. How do I go back? Oh, there. Okay. I created some designs within command. So I created a blog post type of design in command. So is there a way that I can like pull that in on the website?
That's a great question. I'm not sure if you can or not. I want to say probably not at this point since it's so fresh. What it would probably be is a download and then upload it to here.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. So there's a way around it. Okay. And I have one more question. Sorry.
Yeah.
So historically, what has happened or what I have seen with the more expert agents is they open a they take a table in a big event or something, and then there they say, you know, if you're interested, you can check the price of current estimated price of your property. So that attracts a lot of people to know what is their current house's worth. It starts the conversation. I get their email ID, a lot of times their phone numbers, so it's a lead generation too. And they just put in their home address and get a market value of their home.
Mhm.
Is that something that can be leveraged on our site or no?
Not currently. It's something that I know they've said is on their radar, it's on the roadmap somewhere. They don't give me dates, and even if they do give me dates, I don't share dates because that gets me in trouble. So in the meantime, I know what a lot of people do is they'll use like a form service like Google Form or Jot Form. There's a
Mm.
million of them out there. And then you just ask for the data that you want. And, you know, part of it is an email address and a phone number. And so you reach back out to them after the event and say, hey, I looked up your property. This is the window that I see in, you know, my analytics. You can use things like Remine and, you know, the various services to get the estimated prices and
Yeah.
say, you know, and you want to present some sort of, you know, pretty big gap, right? You know, oh, from what I'm seeing, it's anywhere from like 700 to 850,000. I'd love to sit down with you and get a tour of your home so I can give you a more accurate price.
Got it.
And then you you land the appointment and then walk into that appointment with a listing agreement ready to go and walk out with a listing. So.
Yep.
All right. So I'm adding this YouTube video. So it looks like you have to have an internal name. I'm not sure what that. Oh, an internal name is for editors and developers. So, okay, whatever. And then a title. Then we have a description. I'll just put in the same content. It takes the thumbnail off of YouTube, which I'm happy about. And now I'll click publish and see what happens. All right. So now my question is, where is it? So I'm going to jump over to my site. Which, by the way, I really do like the aesthetics of this site. I like the gradient. I like the infinite featured properties. And we do have the ability to adjust these. So let's click on blog. Maybe it's in blog. Nope.
I think it'd be under more.
Oh. Let's check. No, let's just leave a review, which we do by default have a review thing, which is really cool. Which if you guys wanted, I think this would be super fun. Well, at least for me. If you guys wanted to go in here and leave me a review just to see how it looks, that would be awesome. Because I really love the way the new reviews look on this. All right, so now that I did that video, and I might be going like a little too crazy with this, so let's go back.
Can I ask a question about sections on the website?
Of course.
I was interested in, is there a section, I know you have featured properties, but is there a section where we can put our sold properties?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Mhm.
How about this? I'm going to post this and then we'll go back to featured properties and see if we can add sold properties into featured properties. I know there's not a specific section for that, but I'll see what answers I can get for you on that. That's a great question.
And my other question is, the other section I was interested in was, rather than, you know, putting a review on the website, is there a section for testimonials so that we can take reviews from other sites that have, you know, been posted and add it to our website?
So that's a good one. I think they look at testimonials and reviews as the same, as the same thing, as synonymous. And there's no way to import one from the other. I know there are services out there that will create like a widget for you to pull those over and embed the widget. Although right now we don't have HTML or iframe functionality to be able to embed those widgets.
So there's
Um,
no way to like copy and paste a testimonial and put it in some
the-
section on the website.
The only way would be to actually go and leave or like manually enter in what they had entered. So if you go and look and say, okay, Bob Smith from Coral Springs, Florida, and last year said this and gave me this review. That's the only
Oh.
way to really get around that, is to
Oh.
literally manually recreate it,
Oh, I see. Okay.
which is, if you've got a virtual assistant who needs who has time to kill, that would be a great thing for them to do. All right, so back to the YouTube video blog post, I realized that you have to kind of bring that video over and then finish the blog post. So we did all this. There's all this other stuff. I'm just going to click publish and see what happens. All right, so now I actually have a URL for it. So I'm going to go back over to my site, and it did say it was under the blog. So I'll click on blog. And okay, it's not appearing. Probably a me problem. Let's see. So it's on the agent site. It's there. Well, if I click this, what happens? So yeah, it takes me here. If I click that link, let's see, does it, and it plays within, okay.
That's right. Creating.
There we go. And that's a good size. It's a good size post. So I really like that. Does say published. Not sure. Maybe it just takes a second to show up. I'm not sure. Copy this box started. Nope. Okay, so maybe let's go back and look at the blog list page here. And maybe this is where we need to add it. Oh no, there it is. It is actually there. It just took a little bit. I'm impatient. Yay. Cool. So I've got a video blog, and it even has a little play icon, so we know it's a video. I think this is pretty cool. So curious, we have these 4 blogs that they give us, part 1, 2, 3, 4 of your first time home buyer's guide. I'm just curious, what sort of content would you guys create or think would be worthwhile content that would be valuable for your clients to do on your website? I'd love to have kind of almost like a mini mastermind real quick.
I felt like a neighborhood nurture would be a very nice, because a lot of times, people come to test your knowledge. And that has happened with me. I mean, I put a party together, and a couple of guys, they're moving to another house, and they have James Nurick as their sales agent for the existing house. Yet they were talking to me, and they were wanting to, bounce off the questions that they probably already asked James to me. And so, and they were asking about data, and I'm like, yeah, I can get you data. Like, the conversation went, but then if I can just give them a nudge and get their attention, I can probably grab, if not them, then people they know.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. So like things about the neighborhood, or, favorite spots, or stuff like that. Okay. Paul, I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, I was thinking like our vendors, right? So like mortgage lender of choice, and throwing out a couple of just excerpts of we can get a 7-year arm for the right qualified, buyer at 6.5, things of that nature. What that's going to do is that's going to really push them to get pre-approved. So next time, we meet to look at a property or any other leads, that, that hurdle is over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a great one, and that's a great way to pull in your vendors and try and this is where you can make 1 + 1 = 2. Right. Again, you can have them on your preferred vendor page. They're paying you money, and then you can say, hey, if you want to create content and have more of a presence in my world, go for it. Like, hey, what are, and even bring them, hey, I have a lot of people asking me what loan options are out there, or a lot of people don't know these things exist. Can you write something up so you can have it there? I'll put your name, your face there, everything. You don't have to do the work. They do the work for you, and they're super happy to have their face on your website.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's the first thing that comes to mind with me.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree. I think something you could do even is like, what are the questions people are asking you right now? And just answer those questions on the blog. Any sort of like email content that you're sending out, you probably just put it on the blog too. Right. So if you're doing, if you've attended my, any of my classes about internet lead follow-up, I share a 12-day plan with all these different, all the types of emails and email content. It's prompts. I don't actually give you the content, but I give you questions to answer, things to talk about in these emails. You just create the same thing on your website. Or how about this? You send out an email and say, hey, here's the top 3 hurdles buyers are facing right now. And then in the email, you show 2 of the hurdles, and hey, if you want to read the 3rd one, click here. And now it brings them over to your blog. And now you're getting them to interact on your website. So also, just by the way, if you are sending out emails, always have something for them to click, because that's how you can track true engagement, is if people click on the emails, and you want to work on getting people to click the most. So yes, Paul.
So kind of like what we talked about this morning, like prior to the meeting,
Yeah.
what I'm finding is, like, I'm doing some open houses and I'm brand new at this, right? Like probably a month and a half in. But what I'm finding is that when I'm doing the open houses, as I mentioned, it's trying to retain a client with that buyer agent, agreement up front. Is that something that, I had talked about, launching my own landing pad? Thank you for your opinion on, the landing page. But this makes a lot more sense because it's all affiliated with Keller Williams, and it's essentially ties into why we're paying, subscriptions on us as agents on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
And it's a great tool, and it's a good message. But would it make sense to do some sort of that buyer agent form where you can click into it and have them fill it out, and then you can drive your social media to, your page or your blog, whatever the case might be? I mean, obviously, the whole point, as you mentioned, is to have that, like that personal relationship, following up, gaining traction. But I mean, just another added, feature in the event that you do gain traction. You say, all right, well, I know we're all, traveling, we're all busy, but go to this page, fill it out on your phone, whatever the case is. I mean, you can be on your phone and do something like that, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be on a PC.
Yeah. So you can do this. This is web and tablet optimized. So this is a pretty complex solution here. And I think right now we couldn't do this with our site because we don't have the ability to embed. And so you're asking to have like a form that's embedded. Now, that function is coming. We're going to get that. So I think something that would be cool is even just the idea of having a page that you go to fill out a buyer agency agreement that kind of says, hey, I'm working with people so often that here's my page that everyone goes to. Right. So I think it creates a level of acumen to be able to say that.
Right.
And we have with DocuSign, we have Power Forms. And that's something that we can get into in a DocuSign class. But in order to do Power Forms, you have to request to have it turned on. So you can just email support@kw.com and say, can I get access to Power Forms? And what
Yeah.
Power Forms are is you take a form and rather than sending it out to someone, you have a static URL, and anyone who goes to that URL will be prompted to fill out that document. And then it just continues to do whatever it's supposed to do. So definitely look into Power Forms. I think that's a great option. What you can always do is get like, paulparisi.com and have like a redirect of paulparisi.com goes to that Power Form.
That's exactly what I was just exactly thinking, the same exact thing.
Even
Yeah,
the
have a
BX,
redirect.
yep, bxbuyer.com or what, BX Paul, right? Buyer Experience Paul, just .com, boom, goes right there. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, we're gonna carve out some time this week, but thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
All right, so we got 6 minutes left. I know we got into some of the little things here and there. I'm actually really excited to poke around and learn more about this. And this has been fun to do with you guys watching me, no pressure. Any questions or anything that you'd like me to clarify in the next 5 minutes? What was something that you guys learned that you didn't know before you came in here?
That I had to upgrade my website.
Now, Judy, you don't have to, but sometime by the end of the year, they will upgrade it for you if you don't. So
I learned that these tools are accessible. I mean, they're accessible. I mean, they're resources that basically we don't have to figure out ourselves. They're right in front of our face. So thank you for introducing us to it.
awesome. You're welcome. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, well,
Kristen, we'll be able to add pages, like, you know what I mean, for first-time sellers or how to prepare your home for sale. We can
Yeah,
add all of those, right?
Yeah, those sort of things can be blogs.
Right,
As far as like custom pages go, we'll get more customization as time goes on. We can't create custom pages yet, but
Okay.
those sort of things can absolutely be blogs.
okay, cool.
So when you say we can't do customization yet, I think on the old website, we were able to add items to the drop-down menu.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing as a customization page?
Yeah, custom pages. Yeah. So there's customization. So there's things we can customize. We just can't create custom pages to, like you said, have in the drop down. Again, that's something that's coming. And most of the things that we did create custom pages for back with the previous sites are things that we could use the blog for, like you said, Aline, like first time home buyer information or,
Yep.
more information stuff.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great questions. Ansh, I saw you on mute. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I kind of answered my question. I was gonna ask, the existing blogs tend to get older. So is there a place I can reshuffle and bring new blogs up front and old blogs kind of push down to the end? And I just did it, so it worked out.
Okay. How did you do it? Because that was a question
That's a
I
good
didn't have an answer
question.
for.
Oh, you go to the blog list page and you literally just drag and drop the blog, like you drag it and drop up, so you change the sequence
Oh,
and
cool.
it changes live.
Okay. Oh, I see that.
How many blogs does it hold on to? Do we know?
I'm not aware of a limit.
Oh, okay. So you're just constantly pushing it down so you get the more recent or whatever you want as a priority up on the top.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea of like, if you have, like with the multi-part, I kind of like the idea of going in decreasing order. Like you start with part 4 shows up because now it looks like a series, and that's the most recent one that popped up. I think that's the way I would personally do it. But yeah, that's really, thank you for sharing that, Ansh.
Sure.
Now what's odd though is the blog that I added is not showing up there, so I don't know why. But yeah, we're all learning. This is super fun. I'm glad I got to do this with you guys. Some of my favorite people. So yeah. Any other questions? We got 2 minutes.
You're lying.
Yeah.
I guess I better read what's on the blog site
Yeah, that doesn't hurt, right? That's a good idea.
since people are going to see it.
Mm-hmm. That's probably a good idea.
Oh, we cannot change the title of the blog, right? Like we cannot change anything in the existing blog, right?
That's a good question. Yeah, this is a learning experience for all of us. So yeah, I'll have to dig around and see.
Okay.
This was a good one, Chris. Let's do more of these.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll be, as time goes on, I'm going to dig into these really deep. I know some buddies of mine. If you look out for a guy named Brett Bishop, he's been a guest on some of my trainings before. Brett Bishop, put his name. He's got a channel. I think it's Realty Tech Guru. If you want to look up Realty Tech Guru on YouTube, he's got some videos where he goes in depth on some of these things. And yeah, he does some really, really good video content. And he's one of my like best friends. So love that guy. Well, it is 2 p.m. Eastern. I appreciate you all. It was great seeing you. It was great having such a good attendance today. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask Lester or email me at helpmechris@kw.com. Have a great,
Thanks, Chris.
happy,
Thank
and,
you.
Thanks,
happy
Chris.
Halloween.
Tuesdays are great. Tuesday's a great one. Thank
Awesome. Bye. Happy Halloween.
Thank you.